So yeah, the second tour for the heart and the epiphany deck, and then I'll clarify. So let's pick out three cards intuitively. One, okay, this one want to come out intuitively. Okay, okay. Yes, spirit knows. Okay, you got the Four of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Magician. This is beautiful. So we have 411. Somebody looked that number up, and I actually see this all the time. This angel number, um, joy and stability. So you're about to get something's coming in that's really going to make you happy. It could be an invitation or something. It could have something to do with your foundation, stability, security, but something's going to come in, and it is because there is some sort of information or clarity that you get, and with this clarity you are able to make some sort of decision, or you're able to manifest some sort of new beginning. So something is coming in soon. It feels very like soon. But spirit is saying that with this Hierophant card, there's something that you need to release. That could be an old belief system, an old set of ideals. Could be a relationship or somebody. Okay, this is Taurus energy, but this is second house, so this is usually about earthly matters, tangible, something tangible. Could be something that you value, something that you're committed to. It could be a contract. Let's clarify the teach cards. This is the overall energy, and this is about teaching and learning. For this specific deck, he talks about how relationships are we're meant to learn from each other, gain wisdom and understanding, when we're interacting with other people. Now, there could be a set of values and beliefs that don't serve you anymore. There could be a relationship that no longer serves you. Now, this coming in reverse as the overall message. Yeah, self pity. So, Five of Pentacles, and it is a five card. Yeah, caught up in the web of lies and ready to surrender. Wow. Somebody here is feeling left out in the cold. Somebody here is caught up in some sort of lies, some sort of web. Webs represent creation energy. So whenever you see webs or web symbology or spiders, it's all about creation, creating something, manifesting something. It's like building something, right? And this is it's significant to something that was built, but it was built in order to keep someone trapped. Okay. Um, and this could even be your own conditioning, your own deceptive thoughts and beliefs. But I feel like this is alluding to another person because this is saying surrender these lies, this deception. So if you're pitying yourself, if you feel left out, or you feel a sense of pity, you're pitying yourself or feeling down, this is about releasing, these lies, these old ideals, these old conditioning, self-limiting beliefs. They're keeping you stuck, right? Because what happens when a fly or insect gets caught up in the web? They get stuck and they can't get out, right? So this is this illusion of feeling stuck. So spirit is saying surrender, surrender. So the offset of this joy and stability card is you got to let go of this Five of Pentacles, sitting in a puddle of self pity. You need to come out of that lethargy. Okay, there is joy around you that is ready to be tapped in to, and then the web of lies. Spirit is saying you get clear, and get clear. It's something that you think, believe, or there's some sort of behavior pattern or thought process that doesn't work for you anymore. So this is about cutting away or releasing what doesn't serve you, and then surrendering is going to help bring in something that you truly want. Some of you guys, this is a physical building that you guys are trying to manifest. Some of you guys feel like you don't have enough to make this large purchase. This could be a physical building. Some of you guys feel like you're not attracting the type of partner you want. And I'm also picking up that you could be dealing with someone that may be deceptive. Okay, this person may have been deceptive, or they're dealing with a deceptive person. Okay, because I kind of feel like there's a reconciliation for some of you guys. This is an unexpected reconciliation, but um, it comes after releasing some sort of negativity. Okay, so either you're going to be releasing these negative thoughts of I'm not good enough. I never get ahead. I never get chosen, or I always get the short end of the stick, or I always get rejected, or I never, whatever these negative ruminating thoughts are, that it's about releasing them. Now, for others of you guys, this is who you're attracting, what type of relationships you're attracting. Okay, because Saturn is here because Saturn is saying, hey, there's something here that you keep doing the same way over and over and over. Okay, or someone connecting to you. Can I clarify Saturn here? Less is a Saturn. Yeah, earning trust, starting from the bottom. So there is a karmic relationship coming to an end, or a new karmic cycle, or there's a lesson that needs to be learned here, is what Spirit is saying. There's some sort of lesson that has been learned. You are my lifeline. I can't lose you. Awaiting for union. Oh, this is somebody. This is somebody realizing something about you. Can we see what the manifest card brings in? And this feels. Ooh, didn't I say this shit? Did you see this? Y'all saw me shuffle these cards, right? Y'all saw me shuffle these, right? Someone wants another chance to make things right, a desire to do better, and reconciliation. Didn't I just say that this feels like a whole reconciliation? So these lies, was your person getting caught up in some sort of karmic relationship that's coming to an end? And if they were married, or if there was a contract, it's being severed per the universe. Because sometimes the magician can represent universal energy, intervention. Clarify the magician. Yeah, you were betrayed, feminine. You were betrayed, but there is some sort of blessing that you're manifesting for yourself. Wow. Okay, surrender. Because it says here, heart chakra, open your heart and let love in. Surrender. Okay, that's the message that we have here with the surrender, ready to surrender. Someone's ready to open up their heart to you. Someone's ready to surrender to you. This person's afraid that you may not accept them because they took so too long, or because they ghosted you. This is this energy here, being left out in the cold. But see, what Spirit is showing me is that this had backfired on somebody. Whoever betrayed you, okay, whoever this person is that betrayed you, they want to come back for another chance because it backfired. Because whatever they thought they were going to gain, okay, they ended up losing more than gaining, okay, because they got caught up in their own web of lies. So this person's coming back, and this person sees you as wife material or husband material. They see you as a mutual symbiotic. So this person, if they betrayed you, Spirit is letting me know that what goes around comes around. They're pitying themselves. They had to go through some sort of karmas. They're showing me here. Because when I asked for clarification on the Saturn card, Spirit is saying, yeah, this was the clarification for you guys for Saturn. Earning back trust, starting from the bottom. Saturn had to teach this person. Now this person has to come back and start over with you, because they can't come back and start over if they weren't taught a lesson, beloveds. They can't come back. The Spirit wouldn't let them come back if they didn't learn. Spirit is saying that they're learning. They're not quite there yet, but they are close. Because if this was in the upright, with the nine of wands in the upright, this would be okay. They learned a lesson. They're almost there. They're resting. They're reconsidering. They're reflecting right now. So they're gaining clarity. This is what Spirit is saying. They're realizing something, or they will be realizing something very soon, beloveds. And what they're realizing is that they don't want to lose you. I think that they had to lose you to gain this wisdom, to gain this understanding, because this card represents wisdom and understanding. They had to lose something, and they lost a lot. And on a physical level, with this teach card being tied to Taurus, I do see that physically they lost, because whatever they thought they were going to gain, it has something to do with commitments, contracts, um, how they want to be viewed, because this is about societal rules, norms. This is about structure. Um, this is about institutions. So there's some sort of the behavior that they've learned is through conditioning. It's through like social constructs, or um, societal constructs, right? There's a belief system that could be derived from religion, from their environment, or from the way they were raised or reared, right? So the way their parents raised them, it's just like, a racist person, they're only racist because they were taught to be racist. You understand what I'm saying? You're not born, and you're not when a child is born, they're not born being a racist, they're not born being a bigot. They don't know any different. They see you, they are gonna play with you. They're not gonna look at you and be like, oh no, you're black, I'm not gonna play with you, or oh no, you're Hispanic, I'm not. No, it's taught, it's a learned behavior. So their spirit is saying that they're unpacking this learned behavior. They're transforming these old beliefs. They're rebelling against them. They're in the process. They're reconsidering the things that they once believed. They're reconsidering the things that they were once committed to. They're reconsidering their values and their morals. There's a change happening here, beloveds. So, but this change requires them to surrender, and that's why I said they're not quite there yet, because the surrender card is in the future position. What they're in this energy, which is the Ace of Swords, a new perspective, a changed mind, change. This is what this card. This is a card of duality. This is a card of um. It could be it could be a very positive energy, but it could also yield negativity, right? Why? Because our beliefs and our thoughts are what creates our experience, our reality. So if you believe wholeheartedly in your mind that you are never going to get ahead, that you're never going to find love, or that you're never going to be rich, or that you're always going to be stuck, that's what you're going to experience. So this is why I'm telling you guys that your person's having to come out of these illusions or these lies. They're having to see clarity, right? And this is what spirit is saying right here, third eye, that there's something that they once thought that they wanted, that made them happy. There was something that they once valued, because this card is tied to values when it comes to family, stability, structure. Um, they're realizing that they don't value it anymore. So it could be that they valued money, they valued external validation. Some people, they value stuff like that. They value external validation, their reputation. They value material things. Oh, look at all the cars I have. Look at the house I have. They value things that look good on paper, but it doesn't mean that it necessarily makes them happy. So if you're dealing with someone that's in a relationship or married, they may have valued the Constitution, or the they may have valued the Constitution of marriage, right? The ideal of what marriage represents in their community, in their um, culture, even, right? Their religious background. What are the norms for them, that particular person, their own, in their social group? Because let me give you an example. Let's just say you are someone that is connecting with another person that's from a different country or a different religious background, and let's say that person's religion has certain rules and constructs when it comes to getting married. And let's just say the problem between you and that person is that they can't marry you because you're not part of that religion, right? Like, for example, just throwing out an example, like Muslim, they have different rules and constructs when it comes to marriage, and different religious sects do too. Some people are more orthodox when it comes to their beliefs. They're more rigid. They're not as open minded, and then you have people that are very liberal. You have this covers even topics, because these are spoken and unspoken rules, right? So there's even topics that may come up for same-sex relationships, because the Hierophant in reverse is about unconventionality. It's about rebelling against rules, rebelling against what's norm, or what keeps you very confined or constricted. But it is a card of learning through challenges. It's a card of rebellion because it's ruled by Mars, okay? So, and the reason why the Hierophant is here is to keep people in line. What are rules for? If you don't have rules, everybody's going to rebel and just do whatever the fuck they want, right? Hey, Diamond. If you are interested in booking, you guys don't forget the link. The link is listed. Let me pin it. I'm sorry, and I'm just breaking it down just so that you guys can have an understanding how it's not a one. This is a very complicated and intricate card, and it can hit you based on in different ways. It's I never like to read my cards and keep them confined to one simple surface level. Oh, somebody's not in a commitment anymore. No, this means a lot. This could be tied to a lot of different things that are affecting a lot of relationships, like religious things and societal norms and the way someone was raised, people's values, people's morals. Some people are showing up saying, "Hey, I'm polyamorous," and you could be like, "But I'm a traditionalist. I don't believe in having multiple partners." And your person could be like, "But I do." So how do you find a common ground? Or you could have somebody that says, "I believe that I should have 5 wives and I want you to be one of my wives." And you might say, "No, no, I wasn't raised to believe that. My religion said that it's only a man and a woman." Does it make him the other person right and make you wrong or vice versa? No. His beliefs might be valid. That could just be his normal to his particular set of rules and standards for that particular person and their background and their culture. So this is about not really looking at things in a black and white way or a right or wrong way. It's about compatibility, and it's about whether those beliefs are infringing on other people's rights. You understand? Are these rules and structures something that you are in line with? Is it in line with you? Does it serve you, or does it not? So here, what I'm seeing is that somebody was in something that felt very codependent or was doing something that felt very toxic. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean that someone's toxic because they want to have multiple wives. That doesn't mean that. But it could be the purpose behind them having it could be toxic, right? It could just be because they're greedy. They just want a whole bunch of people. It don't necessarily mean that they have a real reason. It could be that, oh well, I'm a man and I should be able to do it. It could be that. And does that make it right? Of course not, right? But it doesn't make it wrong either. So these beliefs have to be clarified, is what Spirit is saying. Why do you believe what you believe? And I'm not just talking about your person. We're also talking about you too, feminine. Why do you believe what you believe? Because you may believe something that may be keeping you very rigid and very restricted and non-adaptable. You could be like, well, I can't be with you. I knew somebody. Let me give you an example. I had a friend who was with a woman. This was a very close friend of mine. Someone that I've dated in the past, a long time ago. And he was with a woman and he was in love and he wanted to marry this woman, right? They dated, they knew each other's family. But the problem was that his fiance, or the person he wanted to make his fiance, her family did not want her to marry him unless he converted to their religion. I believe he was a Catholic and they were Protestants. And they did not, they refused to let her, mind you, she didn't have a free will choice. And I don't know if she also wasn't in line to these thoughts or these rules, right? Because she may have said, yes, my parents are, yes, I think that this is right too. I'm not sure. But I just know that he wanted to marry her. Everything was fine. The only thing was that they wanted him to convert. He went to their church. He participated in church events to compromise, but they asked him to convert. And when he refused to convert, or she told him that she couldn't marry him. And it was devastating to him because he felt like You're throwing away a whole relationship or a whole something we built because I won't convert. And it was not even about, it was the fact that it was being forced. It was almost like they were saying convert or die. It's just very, it was a very hard. Hi, thank you, Kelly. I got your order. I will put you on the list. It was a very difficult experience for him, right? Because his belief was that if two people love each other, it shouldn't matter if they both decide to have different religious views. But her belief was very rigid. And in her belief was, I can't marry you, you're a Catholic. And my religious beliefs think Catholicism is not right. And I don't know why, but that's, 'cause like I said, I didn't get all the details. So, but whatever reason, for whatever reason, she felt like she couldn't marry a Catholic, right? So that relationship was dissolved. So these are the type of issues that are covered by the Hierophant card. So when I do start to do tarot lessons, because I know you guys have been asking, just to throw it out there, I do have plans to have a tarot class this month. Just bear with me, I got a lot on my plate. I'm gonna do like one that's just introductory, just to kind of see how it goes, because I really want y'all to really get into like really. So there's the portion of tarot where you do need to educate and learn and learn, right, the different things that are tied to tarot, right? It's just not pictures on a cards, right? Because these cards are just cards, it's just paper. And it's more than that. There's a lot of esoteric meaning. There's a lot of things connected to this card, down to herbs, down to medicine, down to body parts, down to science, down to astrology, astronomy, planets, animals, seasons, elements. It's so much. Numerology, geometry. I mean, there's so much. So so there's a need for there's a need for me to kind of break it down in the way, I don't know how to articulate it, because the way I learned tarot wasn't traditional. It was kind of me remembering. Um it was just kind of like, because I'm a claircognizant, I kind of just remembered, from past lives and stuff like that. And when I initiated my um when I was initiated, okay, when I was initiated, I went through several initiations. And if you want to know how you'll know if if you're being initiated, pardon me, is you'll have a lot of, you'll go through a phase in your life where you'll always see yourself in a classroom. That's how you'll know. But anyways, um, and this is like in the astral, you'll always have like astral experiences or dreams where you're in a classroom of some sort. um but when I was, when I started my tarot journey, I people, I had was taught when I was in my dream state, people would teach me. It would be me, like my higher self, or me in a different form, or somebody else teaching me, like showing me books and stuff like that. But it's mostly me remembering, but I did do my research too. So I did do a lot of reading and stuff, but a lot of the readings that I do is purely intuitive. But you do need to learn, you do need to learn these things, because you need to be able to see, like, oh, I see Saturn transiting, transiting your eighth house. You need to know, like, oh, this card ties to Virgo. Your Virgo ties to the sixth house. How is this affecting you? How is it affecting your sixth house? What does that mean? Why is Pluto in this particular house? Why is that affecting you? It's really important sometimes, especially when you're doing private readings or readings for yourself, so you can have an understanding, um, of your fate, okay, of your path. A lot of times we don't understand why we go through different things. And when you start to learn astrology, when you start to learn your birth chart, it puts everything into perspective. But I digress. All right, so back to what I was saying about the Hierophant card. So there's something here that has to do with some sort of value system beliefs, some sort of constructs or commitments, right? Obligations, even contracts. There's definitely some sort of obligation that's being highlighted here, or someone that felt obligated to do something based off of his beliefs or her beliefs, but there is some sort of clarity that's coming in. Okay, someone is getting some sort of clarity, someone is seeing something from a different perspective soon. And Spirit has shown this to me. See, I keep working with threes. Threes is a, I don't know if you guys ever pay attention, and I like to pull. I work with different numbers, but my go-to spread is three cards. I always work with three. So whenever I clarify, you'll always see me clarify with three. And even when I'm pulling a lot of cards and I have a whole bunch of cards on the table, I'm always working in threes, right? And it's an odd number. You can work with even numbers and you can work with odd numbers, and they all mean different things in a tarot. Even numbers, odd numbers mean something, okay? But I'm not going to go into that. But anyways, but what I'm saying is, like, if I talk about these these three cards, is telling me a story, right? We have two fives. We have challenges here when it comes to someone's stability. What makes somebody happy, or what someone thought would make them happy. This also ties to values. Okay. Five of Pentacles, and it's saying to me that because, and this is not a pentacle card, but I'm attributing this to Pentacles because of the self-pity energy. Why? Because when I see self-pity clarifying joy and stability, is telling me that someone is pitying themselves, or feels defeated because something in their life is not making them happy anymore. And this card, which would be the next card, to clarify the joy and stability card, is telling me what the problem is because there's a challenge. And Spirit is saying, well, the challenge is some sort of belief or value system, but it's built off of some sort of unconventionality, or something that someone's rebelling against, right? There's something unconventional, something that doesn't go, it goes against the grain, okay? Something goes against the grain, or someone wants to rebel against something. And this could also be if this person is in some sort of commitment contract, or there's something, right? Even in some sort of institution, which is a career, too. This could be a career. It doesn't make this person happy anymore. This commitment doesn't make them happy anymore. This belief doesn't make them happy. This value, this construct, um, you know, but they're learning through this experience, and they're learning from their mistakes because they're pitying themselves. So this is also letting me know, well, if you're pitying yourself, it's because you feel like you made a mistake. Thank you, Diamond, for your order. Right? Why do you pity yourself? You don't pity yourself when you're doing everything, doing the right thing. You don't pity yourself when you're happy, right? So something's not making somebody happy anymore. Um, so and Spirit is saying, well, this person needs to clarify whether that can, if there is there a possibility it can make me happy, Spirit? Is there something that can make me happy again in this particular situation? Or someone is saying, how can I be unconventional? How can I do something different? But different doesn't necessarily mean wrong or right. Remember, I'm not reading this spread based on wrong or right. I'm reading this um, objectively, okay? Because the outcome is that there is someone coming in for reconciliation. The outcome is not saying this is wrong or right. It's just saying that this is what someone wants to do. But you, feminine, you show up also in the outcome position. However, you're also showing up in the antagonist position. And why do I say that? Because your outcome is the magician. Now, one thing I want you to understand about the magician card, it is about wielding power. It's about manifestation, and it's also about um, affluence. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying this is that there is something or influence. Something is influencing this manifestation. Now, it could be that is being influenced because you still are caught up in these webs. You're still not clarifying on some sort of belief. Remember, Saturn and addictions is here in the underlying energy. Clarifying cards are like I read my clarifiers as like, you know, subconscious cues or unknowns, right? That's why we got to clarify, what is it that we don't know? What's the underlying theme? It's There's an addiction. There's Saturn is still here. So this doesn't necessarily mean wrong or right. It could still mean, because the Hierophant is the overall energy still in the reverse, that something's still not learned. So that means that there is an invitation to continue to learn this lesson. That means the cycle hasn't completed. And with this Magician card, this could be about reclaiming your power so that you can complete the cycle. And that could end with you being with this person, or with you choosing to spread your wings. That would be the next card for the subconscious clarifier. Um, so, what I'm seeing here for you guys is that there is an opportunity for you to reconsider something that you once believed to be true. Rest and reconsider. And what this means is that there's a pause. This is the Nine of Wands, and when I see it, it's talking about being exhausted or needing to take to needing to take some sort of time out, right? Because the Nine of Wands is an energy of perseverance, trying to get something to work, trying to get something right, trying to win or finish, complete a task. And in order for you to come out of this energy, web of lies, or this person that you may be connecting to, you're going to need to clarify that belief and surrender it, because it doesn't serve you. Why am I saying it doesn't serve you? Because if this was different, if these cards didn't come out, I would have been like, oh, okay. But something here doesn't serve you. And Saturn is trying to clarify it for you. So that is why there are restrictions, delays, and something that makes you feel very uncomfortable. Something that may be putting you in this energy, beloveds, if this is for you. If I'm speaking to you directly, you know what this energy is for you. Self pity. And the word pity could be a little harsh. You guys I could give you some different synonyms that could maybe kind of align better with your situation, because you may not look at your situation as, oh, I pity myself. But words are just words, right? We could use different adjectives, but it somehow means the same old thing, right? Lies, deception, illusions, delusions, all of that it's the same energy. So self-pity, you could be suffering, you could feel like you suffered misfortunes, so that may be more in alignment, okay, to you, if this is speaking to you directly in regards to something that needs to be clarified. And it has something to do with you and somebody reconnecting, and then a decision needs to be made about this reconnection. All right. So for others of you, it's sorrow. For others of you, it's regret, it's disappointments, it's, oh, woe is me. You understand what I'm saying? A feeling of sadness, sympathy for suffering or unhappiness, pitying other people, or you're pitying yourself. This is self pity. So feeling sad, because you've been through something that made you disappointed. You've been through something that felt misfortunate, something that made you feel bad, okay, about yourself, feeling distressed, feeling unhappy. Remember, what we are clarifying is past energy, past, present, future. Something that you thought would make you happy did not. Spirit is saying but it was a learning experience with the teach card. You have an opportunity to clarify a belief during some sort of period of rest or timeout. So some of you guys could be in separation right now with a person, and in this period of rest and separation, after being exhausted, after feeling out of balance, because you've been what? Pitying yourself, right? You've been struggling, you've been suffering, you've been mourning, grieving, whatever this ordeal has made you feel, it has drained you. And Spirit says, well, okay, we recognize that this has taken a lot out of you. So we have given you a time period, a time, okay, um reference. I'm going to just say time reference, because time is an illusion, but because Saturn is here, Saturn rules time, or what we perceive as time. So just let's call it seasons to make it more, so that it can make more sense. So you're going through a season Okay, where you're in a rest phase, you're having to rest, you're having to heal, okay, so that you can reconsider something that you once believed. Does that make sense? Clarity of belief, Ace of Swords, new perspective on it. All right. In your outcome, in your future potential, you have the Magician, which is a new beginning, and it's being manifested, meaning that whatever you're thinking, whatever you're feeling is bringing it about, whether good or positive. That's why I cannot say this is a good thing or a bad thing. It could be both. I don't know what you're manifesting, because a lot of you guys have to understand that the Magician or the manifestation card with the Ace of Swords, that power could be yields in different ways. It could be used for good, or it could be used for bad, or it could be a consequence, right? Good or bad could be the consequence of your belief, of your thought process, which you're focusing on. And if your belief is that, oh, I'm always going to feel like this, I'm always going to be disappointed, hurt, sad, grieving, or feeling all these misfortunes, if that's your belief, that's what you keep manifesting for yourself. Okay. But I feel like there is going to be some sort of wake up call with this Ace of Swords, which I do like, though. I do like the Ace of Swords being there. Can we get a clarifier? Ooh, yeah. Perseverance. And I talked about the Nine of Wands being a perseverance card. Look what I'm clarifying. The Ace of Swords is being clarified by obstacle. That's why Spirit says there's an obstacle. You gotta wait it out. You gotta think it through. You have to rest. Stop pushing forward. Stop trying to make it work. Stop, beating a dead horse. Um, Stop. This is like you need to stop. Okay, stop trying to do it a certain way. Clarify, okay, your belief, or get clarity first. And clarity can come through resting, right? It could be through it could be through, excuse me, meditation, or reflection, or inner work, whatever this resting period um, triggers you to do. Most people, it's going to trigger you to do shadow work. So what's coming after the resting, um, right? Because these opportunities were blessed opportunities for growth. Remember, the Hierophant is the main energy we were clarifying. It's talking about you coming out of your comfort zone, which is alluding to South Node energy, which is alluding to what Saturn is trying to get you to. Um, so, South Node energy, for people that don't know, is talking about past things that you mastered from a past life. Saturn sometimes have to come in and help you to break old patterns from the past, right? So let's say in a past life, your pattern was, you had certain beliefs and values that made you very rigid when it came to relationships, where you feel like relationships have to look a certain way, like, right, have to be a certain way. And back to that example of, the person that I told you about that was dating the girl that didn't want to marry him because he was Catholic, and said, in order for me to marry you, you have to convert. That could have been because in a past life, that woman could have been a very religious person. She could have been a religious leader. She could have been part of a religious sect. Whatever the case may be, Saturn is saying, well, that's a pattern that doesn't serve her anymore, because what's going to happen is everybody she dates, she's going to say, hey, you got to convert to be with me. Hey, you got to convert to be with me. Right. But how does that? So when we talk about love, because this is a love spread, when we talk about love and relationships, we could see how that could be a detriment to the relationship, because what happens is that when two people are not in alignment because they have two different set of belief systems, there's going to be a lot of misunderstanding, there's going to be a lot of bumping heads. And like I said, we're not going to look at this as wrong or right. I'm not looking at it as she was wrong or she was right. She made a decision based off of her beliefs, right? Just like some people, and back to the example that I said, that I made, where I said that some people are taught to be racist, right? Taught to be um, hateful, right? Because you're not born hating people because of the color of their skin, or because of their gender, or because of their sexual orientation. That's taught. It's learned behavior. So there's something here that someone has learned that is causing them misfortune, or to be unhappy, or to be sad. Okay, because what's happening is that those learned behaviors are attracting a certain set of lessons because Spirit is saying you have an unhealthy pattern that we need you to break. We need you to reconsider this belief or this pattern or this behavior that you've learned, that you've picked up. And it could be physical addictions, it could be emotionally addictive thoughts and other patterns, see, that are affecting this connection, right? All right. So coming out of your comfort zone, and that's why I said this is a resting period, because divine timing says we need to give you guys time to clarify these beliefs. Okay. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Why? Because you guys have deep rooted, unresolved wounds and karmic patterns right here. See, I don't need all these cards. I saw it just with the three cards, but I'm breaking it down, and this is why I clarify my readings, because, like I said, I could see three cards and I can pick up a scenario intuitively for the person I'm reading for, right? But when I clarify it, it breaks it down to the very root of the problem. And sometimes when we look at it too surface level, we're missing the purpose. Because sometimes the purpose is not about good or bad. The purpose is about clarifying that fucking belief. It doesn't mean that just because you believe in same sex marriage doesn't mean that you're right. You know what I'm saying? And somebody else that believes that it, that doesn't believe in it doesn't make them wrong, right? It's just about clarifying your belief and seeing if that belief works for you still. Does it still serves your purpose? Because if you're someone that's very rigid in your belief and you come across a partner that you want to be with, there will be incompatibility there, right? Because this partner may say, but I like this thing, I like this one way. And you may say, but no, I like it another way. How can you both find that common ground to adapt, to accept each other? Because you cannot make somebody be what you want them to be. That means you are controlling. You're wanting to control the outcome because you want this person to be with you. You want them to reconcile. You want them to leave the karmic. You want them to do all these things without a proper understanding of how that is restricting you, right? Because when you are trying to control a scenario or outcome, what you're actually doing is you're restricting yourself from having the highest good and highest outcome for yourself. Because if you're trying to control an outcome and you're trying to say, well, universe, I'm trying to manifest this person and I want this person to reconcile with me, right? And no problem, the universe will say, okay, you can manifest that. And then this person comes in and they reconcile with you. And what do? What ends up happening most of the time? They end up taking advantage. They end up hurting you, ghosting you, abandoning you again, right? And then you turn around and say, "But universe, why? I told you that, you know, I told you that I wanted this person to come back, and but it didn't work out." And the universe is going to say, "Well, did you clarify your belief, beloved? You said you wanted a reconciliation. You didn't clarify it." And then you're going to say, but well, yeah, I wanted a reconciliation, but I wanted them to stay. I wanted them to be with me. And Spirit's going to say, well, clarify that belief, baby, because you want them to be with you, right? So what is it? What do you want from them? I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want them to be loyal. Okay, but what are their beliefs? Now you clarify it and you realize, well, they don't have those same beliefs. And then you're left with that. But they don't have the same beliefs, beloved. Okay, if you want to marry someone or be with someone and they don't have that same thought process or belief or the same set of values as you, there's nothing you could do there. And a lot of you guys are stuck there. You guys are stuck in this holding pattern of wanting to have something happen a certain way, but not realizing that by you wanting it to happen a certain way, that it could be a detriment to you. It could actually cause more misfortune and more unhappiness. So this is why we have this need to surrender, right? To letting things play out the way they're meant to. And if it is meant to be, what's being clarified here for the people that have um learned the lesson, right? Because this could be that one person has learned. And let's just say this is you, family. Let's say you've went through enough lessons so to where you have learned, right? And based off of this spread, what you've learned is that these wounds have caused you to attract certain partnerships or certain scenarios or experiences. And you say to the universe, well, I have clarity now, right? My beliefs and values have changed, spirit. My beliefs and values are I want somebody to be dedicated to me, devoted to me because I'm dedicated and devoted to myself. I want somebody to love me because I love myself. I want someone to love me and want to be with me because they choose to with their free will, not because I want them to, right? Let's just say you've learned and you have clarified your belief, right? And some of you guys, when you clarify your belief, it's going to be I don't want that person anymore. I want the person that's best for me, right? Let's just say you're there. I just want whoever's best for me, whoever's in alignment to me, right? So spirit says, okay. So this could be that, yes, now that you have learned, right, you are manifesting a past life soulmate. Now, this does say someone wants another chance to make things right, and then we have a return of a past soulmate. It doesn't have to be the same people. This could be two separate entities coming towards you. And your clarifier is third eye. So this is, do you go to the past or do you spread your wings and move towards the future? Okay. So you guys, some of you guys are going to have an old and a new person. Not necessarily new, but a newer person or someone from your past life that you haven't met yet that's on your path. Depending on where you're at, beloveds, everybody's at a different level in their experience. Important dream messages. So some of you guys are dreaming about this person, or some of you guys are getting messages in your dreams. But this is also what you're manifesting based off your wishes, your aspiration, based off of what you're attracting to yourself. Yeah. Some of you guys, like I said, are in this energy of I just want to attract the person that's right for me, right? And if in your heart you feel like there's one specific person that's right for you, if you feel like you know, right, based off of your clarifying of your belief, if you feel like you know the person, Spirit is saying that you need to set your intentions high, right? Because Spirit is saying you're attracting something to you, you're manifesting it to you. Hopefully, you're manifesting something that is not an illusion here. I'll clarify that for you guys, but you are manifesting wish fulfillment. Okay. And wish fulfillment doesn't mean good or bad still, because you may manifest someone that feel like that's your wish fulfillment doesn't necessarily mean bad. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that for everybody. Be careful what you wish for, but Spirit says forgive. This is forgiveness is a liberating choice. And Spirit says spiritual mission. So the mission is to clarify that belief, or to, with the third eye. And I like to use simple words like to see the truth. Same thing. Clarifying your belief is seeing the truth. Okay. Having clarity, clear vision. Again, um, see, so like I said, some of you guys, look, I knew it. Some of you guys, look at that. So there is a new beginning. Some of you guys will be forgiving someone, and the clarity that you gain is that there was an illusion, that you were deceiving yourself or being deceived by someone else. And for your new beginning, you're letting it go. You're moving forward and you're taking a new risk towards something else, and looking at your other opportunities. And then for some of you guys, it's forgiveness. Yes, you're going to take this person back because this person is no longer in denial. You're no longer in denial. You both have clarified your beliefs. You both have um, learned about your own self-limiting patterns. What causes you two to bump heads, right? What is it that makes you guys misalign? There's more of an alignment. And because there's an alignment, there's a new beginning. Um, and the alignment is also telling me that somebody that you were dealing with is releasing some sort of external factor that has been preventing them from being able to clarify this belief. Something that was distracting them, or it could be that there is something that they need to free themselves from. I'm also seeing that there's a tower moment. So this might be a huge tower moment for you, right? Because this is going to give you an opportunity to make a decision But in this decision, Spirit is saying, can you trust this person and can you start from the bottom with this person, or do you need to trust yourself and move forward and start from the bottom with someone brand new? Okay. So that was a little bit more complex collective message. Whoever it was meant for will receive it. I'm not looking at your comments yet, but I'm going to look at them now. So I so far have 2 orders. Let me know what you guys thought about that. Let me know if that made sense to you guys. I tried to articulate it as best as I could. It's one thing with just knowing what everything means, but trying to put it into words is another task for readers. Okay. Some people are really good at articulating. Um, but like I said, I tend to try to go a little bit deeper beneath the surface because, like I said, there is going to be some sort of decision and it is a free will choice, but a path is being made clear for you. Just know that. I'm seeing a lot of duplications of numbers, which is duality here. There's 2 people here doing some sort of song and dance together. It's just and it's so interesting because, like I said, you're my lifeline. I can't lose you. There's a lot of codependency there. If I didn't see Saturn and addictions, I would have been a little bit more. I would have been looking forward to this reconnection, and I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that it is just another set of lessons for you guys. Twin flame union approaching you. Okay, look at where Saturn is in your chart. That kind of gives you the theme. Or look at your 7th house. All right, so let's see who's first. Yeah, Kelly. Yeah, see? Some sort of codependency. I don't know on your part of your person part, fighting to emotionally detach. And it says, deep, dark times and isolation. This person feels left out in the cold, or you guys were left out in the cold. It was all meant to teach you. It was an opportunity for you to learn and grow. You know what they say, seeds, you gotta plant a seed, and it can only grow in darkness. Most seeds don't grow in the sunlight, right? Most seeds will be out in the sun and will never grow. But once you plant it and put it in the ground, it sprouts, right? So you go through a dark period because spirit is likening you to a seed, and spirit is saying that when we plant you, okay, in that deep, deep, dark soil, when you go through that darkness, it actually is causing you to grow more, to blossom into something bigger and better. All right.